welcome to True Vine Talks. We have our lovely Katlin here with us today.
Good morning.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And of course, Miss Lovely Rachel as well. Yeah.
Morning.
So how did your old New Year get started?
Dancing.
This is right.
Danced in the new year. Yeah.
Loved it. Yes. We should have just sent a memo to Katlin that night. We ran into each other.
We did. It wasn't planned. Yeah. But it was wonderful.
So awesome. We ran into each other at the DoubleTree Hilton. I was like, man, Katlin, we should like, how do we get her here? You know, I was thinking that, and I was like, man, next year we'll plan it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Will your husband dance, Katlin?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe.
Cool.
Yeah,
Or maybe we could plan a sweetheart dance.
mine wasn't nearly as exciting as yours, but it was still good.
Yeah. And so when you start out the new year with a positive intention, I think it sets the tone for your year. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it definitely can.
Yeah.
I agree. Last year, I had talked to a friend of mine and she said she always has a word for every year. And I thought about that and I was like, okay, I think I'm going to do that. And so last year, my word was consistency. And I had that in my planner. And so every day I would see that word and it would remind me I need to work on being more consistent. And it was really helpful.
I love that. Yeah, that just the kind of a theme for the year, what you're going to work on.
I like that. And you might hear the dogs in the background. And so what is your intention? Like, this is why I switched it to intention. I saw a meme or some wonderful thing on Facebook or, Instagram said, set your intention. I think it was from Tiny Buddha. So thank you, Tiny Buddha. Set your intentions versus setting New Year's resolutions. What do they mean by intention?
Yeah, like something you want to focus your energy on, work towards, like a goal or a resolution. But I think Katlin said it really well before we started the podcast, the direction that you want to go in. I like that.
Yeah, really good. I don't want to interrupt anyone. So an intention is like what Rachel's saying, setting an aim or a direction. She wanted to be more consistent last year, so she had that as her aim and goal. If your intention is health, you might put the word health there, or be more spiritual. Maybe that's your intention this year. Pray more. Save more money. Maybe some people are into that. I'll just blow it all. So, so how do you set one? And then this comes into, really focusing in on what we call in our field our intrinsic values. And you guys probably have had motivational interviewing as part of your training. No, Katlin?
It's been a while. I remember learning.
It's been a while for me as well. Yeah, just so you feel better.
Oh, okay. I don't know why that's fresh in my mind. But it is that an intrinsic value is a value that's only within yourself.
Yeah, so bettering yourself for the sake of, being proud of yourself and not to like be enough for others.
Right? Exactly, Rachel. If you value honesty, that's intrinsic to you. Maybe people outside of your circle don't value honesty. Well, heck, maybe some people in your circle don't value honesty. And so that's what's valuable to you, is just telling the truth. Another intrinsic value would be loyalty. Do you value being loyal to others that are close to you? What does that look like? And I think that understanding your core values, what matters most to you? What matters most to you is the question you need to ask yourself.
Right. What do you need more of?
Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Or what behaviors or habits do I have in my life that aren't completely in line with my intrinsic values?
Ooh,
Right?
that's good.
Maybe
Yeah.
I value, honesty and integrity and being loyal, but I engage in gossip. And that's a behavior that I don't like and that I'm not proud of, right? So I might set the intention, to cut that out.
So this is helping you learn how to show up for yourself.
Yeah.
Well stated.
Own needs.
What's that, Miss Caitlin?
How to meet your own needs.
Yeah. Yeah, and who told me about the inner baby? Was that you, Rachel? How to take care of your inner baby?
I don't know. I'll happily take credit for that, but I don't know if it was me or not.
Maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. But maybe it was one of the books that I read or
I
something.
think so.
Oh, I know. You and I did a podcast on the highly sensitive person. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It was definitely a highly sensitive person that talked about that.
What does Caitlin's inner baby need today?
Mm-hmm.
Does she need a bath? Does she need a nap? What food is she craving? Does she need some sweet potatoes? Well, she
Yeah.
might need that particular vitamin. Listen
Right.
to her inner baby. What does she need? Or he need if you're a boy or whatever you identify. So what does the baby need? And that could be your intention for the year.
Yeah, just tuning in, right, to yourself.
Yeah. Did you all both get Rona during this 3 years?
The past 3 years, yeah, I've had it.
Yeah.
Possibly I've never had it. Knock on
Good for
wood.
you. Yeah.
Praise God.
Yes.
Wow. For me.
Yeah. Well, you know what my need was? Sleep.
Oh, lots of sleep. Yeah.
And I'm not a sleeper. So I've been, as an adult, like 6 hours is my average. I was sleeping 9 to 10 hours every night during my Rona phase. Caitlin, you're nodding your head. Does that sound good to you?
Yeah, that's definitely, I think where I'm going with my intention this year, because as I show you, I've been way too dependent on energy drinks and caffeine to achieve everything I need to do. So that's part of how I'm going to tune into my inner baby, is try to prioritize sleep more.
That's a good intention. Yeah. That's good. And you all jump in anytime. You're doing a great job. Habits. This is something Caitlin said before the podcast, and Rachel and I were like, spot on. She is so wise.
Yeah.
She said, habits. Well, let's let her say it.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
From the source itself.
Yes.
Habits are your safety net that catch you whenever things start to get hard. So whether your schedule is chaotic, you're having a hard day with your mental health, you're feeling down, whenever you build your habits, they're what keep you going.
Yes. It deserves applause. I love it, right? So when people say or ask, right, oh, how do I manage stress? Caitlin just nailed it, right? By having good habits, these intentional rituals, if you will. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because as soon as my life gets chaotic, what Caitlin says is true. I will pray more, read my Bible more. Those are my habits for me and my intrinsic values, and exercise more. And then I find what Caitlin says is true. My mental health gets back in alignment. That's
Yeah.
deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the word that comes to my mind when I think about this is grit.
Mm.
You have a choice whether or not you're going to just let things fall by the wayside or whether or not you're going to choose to do something that's good for you.
Yes. And I think that is, I think, my intention for the year. And that's an affirmation that I've been saying every morning so far is I'm going to choose what's right for me over what's fun, fast, or easy.
I love that.
Yeah.
Say that again, Rachel.
Yeah. I'm going to choose what's right for me
Mm-hmm.
over what is fun, fast, or easy.
That's good. Yeah.
Because sometimes exercising is not fun, fast, or easy, but it's what's good for my body. It's what's going to nourish me. It's what's going to help me be my best self.
That's good. Caitlin, you were nodding your head.
Yeah, it's so spot on. And that resonates with me a lot. Just thinking about being a busy mom to multiple little kids. And it's so easy to just swing in the drive-through and get McDonald's several days a week. But is that what's good for us? Is that, that's fast, that's easy, but that's not what's probably good for us. So that definitely hit the nail on the head for me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so much. Oh my goodness. Caitlin, Rachel, I'm so lazy about food. I'm so lazy, but I didn't know this about myself until I started training with wonderful Amy Elkins. She's like, you can exercise, but your diet, you can't out exercise your diet, she said.
Mm.
Rachel's got a great diet. She makes good food choices. I'm like, I'll make a couple good food choices and then I'm off. I'm like, I'm just hungry, throw something in there.
Hey, I still snack. I don't want people to have a false perception of me. Honesty. Yeah. I'll still eat potato chip or cookie. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you all saw my bowl in my office, you know. Go ahead, Caitlin.
Connected, right? You've been teaching me about how your gut health affects your mental health.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mind body connection. It's
Mhm.
real.
Yeah, your
Yeah.
gut health does affect your brain, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think we talked about in the podcast where we were talking about how it is challenging to change, right? And how our body and our brain always wants to take that path of least resistance, right? And so we will always have at least some part of us that wants to take the fun, fast, easy route. It's just so much more, shiny. Right.
You're right, it is shiny.
Yeah.
What's
It's
that, Miss
tempting.
Caitlin?
Instant gratification with the fun
Oh,
fast.
yes. Yes. Yes.
But then you don't get the results that you want long term.
Exactly.
And that's what stands in your way whenever you're trying to achieve something big, or you're trying to get to the life that you want or the way you want your life to look.
Yeah. And so when we're talking about the book Atomic Habits by James Clear and setting these intentions and working towards them, I think that the biggest takeaway for me from that book was thinking about my behaviors as votes for my future self. Every time I behave in a way that is fun, fast, easy, I am more likely to do that in the future. Every time I do the hard but right thing for me, I'm more likely to do that in the future.
Love that, Rachel. Well stated. You're making habits that build your future self. And, I mean, the era I grew up in was, the Friends era where women were just thin. Like the goal was to have abs of steel.
Mm.
I'm not designed that way. I've never had abs of steel, but I've been in good shape. Well, you have to shift how you think about what what you want your body to look like in the future. Well, I'm aging, so bodybuilding, weight training is building a better me for my older age, and that's the mindset. Not you're gonna be a six pack. You're gonna have like thin, like model thin. That's although I know the culture's shifting into that, it's not always the most healthy approach. I mean, you got to keep in mind what you have to do to look a certain way and what that means for you in the future self. So I like what Rachel said about that. Yeah.
With you sharing that, it's reminding me, like, you got to have a realistic, right, and healthy expectation, right, of your future self. I like that too.
Yeah. And the weight training builds brain capacity and neural pathways. I just read that the other day. Did y'all know that?
No.
I didn't know that either. Yeah. So you're building a future self, a better, improved brain by eating right and exercise. Now, I want our listeners to know, and I know Rachel and Caitlin would say this too, is that we're not saying that healthy habits make you totally mentally stable. Mental illness is mental illness. We're talking about having good intentions for yourself. We're not talking about, if you have mental health struggles, you need to pursue counseling and, right, Rachel, like you gotta.
Right. Yeah. It's just, it's what helps. These are the coping skills, right? To help manage, reduce symptoms. It's not like the cure, so to speak.
Yeah, this won't take away your problems, but it can help you deal with them better.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you for clarifying. Yeah. Thank you for doing that. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, and because let's talk about that for a little bit and process, right? The why, maybe, because I'm thinking, it's when we are struggling with our mental health, we usually don't have the best view of ourselves. There's a lot of self-loathing and shame that comes up in that, right? And by setting intentions, right, and maintaining good habits, you're actively showing yourself that you care about you, that you love yourself, right? That you can trust yourself to follow through. That's literally how we develop self-love and self-trust, is through healthy habits.
That's right. Yeah. I want to make sure I give Caitlin, because I'm always talking, so I want to make sure.
I just completely agree with her. Yeah, that's how your older, wiser other comes in and takes care of that little baby. Right? You show up and you take care of that person.
Yeah, it's so important to love your inner self. Especially if you've had trauma or avoidant or chaotic parents. because no one was there for you when you got hurt or you were sad. So guess what? The brain will make another self
Mhm.
to take care of your inner child. And that's
Yes.
what Caitlin's saying. That older, wiser other shows up and says, "Do you need to take a rest? Do you need a nap today?" And remember,
Yeah.
Sue taught us soft, slow, low.
Yeah. Yeah. These are the things that, like, we're talking about when you hear the word or the phrase self-care, right? It's not all bath bombs and manicures and getting your hair done, right? It can be, but it's a lot more than that. It's literally, if you were responsible for keeping you alive, which hint hint you are, but
True. True.
right, but like if you had a person that you're responsible for keeping alive, you would make sure that that person was drinking enough water and nourishing themselves with good food and going to the doctor when they need to and getting enough sleep. Yeah.
Yeah. Just the way you take care of your own baby, Caitlin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just the way I took care of Grant when he was little, just you know that baby talk,
Yes. And every time you do that baby talk, Linda, I smile because like it feels good to my inner child. I'm not making fun of you by laughing. I'm like, oh, like that tone is just so playful and enjoyable. So I just wanted to clear that up.
Yeah, you should hear me and my nieces. Oh my goodness, and my sister like, how are you doing? Are you really funny voice to like,
Aw,
are you okay, Miss Caitlin? Let me see how you're doing. It's so silly. The way you
yes.
talk to your puppy, or
Yes.
Dogs like it. They respond to it.
I
Uh-huh.
love baby talk. Yeah. Good for you too. Not just your animal. It's good for you to talk to yourself that way. So, especially, and I'd like to say, if you had trauma as a kid or you didn't have secure, safe attachments with anyone, you need more. You're gonna need more, and that's okay. That's okay. Oh, here's the part we were gonna process too. What if you fear, like with Caitlin, what if she fears that she won't be consistent this year? That fear of her intention not playing out in an outcome. What do we do with that fear?
Some people, I think it can be crippling. Like they may just not even try because they're afraid that they won't get where they want to be or get the results they'd like.
Yeah. Like is the word that kind of like learned helplessness, right? Like, well, I always fail. Nothing I ever do is enough. I can't maintain it. So why even try? Like, why bother?
That's when you come in there and you say, what to your younger self?
You can do this. You can do hard things. You can choose what's right for you over what's fun or easy.
Yeah. And you might also say, and that's good, Rachel, and you may also say to your younger self, hey, you know what? You're doing your best today to be consistent. And a kid got sick. So being consistent in this area didn't work today, and that's okay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You had to go to a funeral, so your day's not going to look the same. You got to have some, what's the word? You guys know the
Like
word.
flexibility and understanding, grace for yourself. Yeah. I'm always moving my hands.
We're like, me and Rachel are always doing a dance.
Yeah.
That's it though. That's it, right? Like having flexibility for, when you have little ones like Caitlin, I mean, stuff shows up. I mean, is that right, Caitlin? Like stuff shows up.
Yeah.
And what
Yeah.
do you do?
Got to be kind to yourself.
Yeah.
Was, hey, I tried. Today was not the day. But instead of getting discouraged and not going back, reevaluate, revisit that intention, work towards that direction the next day.
Ooh, I love her 3 steps.
Yeah. Say it again. Sorry if you can't remember. I really liked it.
Me too.
So kind of like reevaluating,
Wait,
revisiting,
revisiting.
and resetting that intention the next day.
The 3 R's. I like that too.
We love it. That might be the title of this podcast. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yes, it's so good. And so we're building upon good habits. If a kid got sick today and Caitlin couldn't make a healthy vegetable and a fish that night because she's just trying to get everybody to bed in a decent hour so they can get up for work and school the next day, that's okay. That's not gonna derail her intention of being consistent for the whole week. Yeah.
That goes back to having that grit, to making that choice.
Yeah.
You do have to slow down and kind of process with yourself. Like, I'm not a failure. I can still do this. I can get where I want to be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Reminding ourselves that not everything, but a lot of things are choices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So our language is so important when it comes to being intentional, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people, I don't have time. I don't have time. I can't find the time. People are very busy. Don't get me wrong. But if we change that to I'm not prioritizing, fill in the blank, it lands a lot differently.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes what we're not prioritizing is not aligning with our intrinsic value.
Well stated.
Yeah.
Well stated. Say that again.
Instead of saying I don't have time for this particular habit, change it to I'm not prioritizing this habit, right? My health, my financial wellness, my family, my social life, whatever it might be. Yeah. And see if that sentence, I'm not prioritizing this, lines up with your intrinsic values, what matters most to you.
That's good, Rachel. Very well stated. So if God is my intrinsic value, my day looks very different for the day. If God is my true pure intention, my day should start out in prayer, meditation, and for me, everyone has their own belief system. That's cool. Whatever yours is in scripture for me. That sets the tone. And if I get off that, because that's my intrinsic value, what Rachel's saying is true, then I got to prioritize. I gotta get myself up, change the day, pivot, change the tone, reframe, and all those
Yeah.
critical R's that Caitlin said. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe set some boundaries, right? In some other areas that are taking up more time,
Exactly.
that are actually less of a priority. Yeah.
So in our boundaries, we've talked about that lots of times, and we talk about it in therapy with our clients. But the purpose of that boundary is to protect what's important to you.
Yes.
Caitlin, that's really good. What's important to you and saying no to the other stuff. Like Grant's like, Mom, you're on that TikTok, because I send him and Charlie videos on TikTok at night. You're on TikTok too long. Okay, well, he called me out. Like I'm not prioritizing waking up. Your kids will call you out, Fester. I like that. That's good.
Yeah. So what if someone asked, like, okay, I'm ready. I want to set some good intentions. I want to have healthier habits. How do I do that? Because I think that gets to our next thing that we wanted to talk about, building on habits you already have.
I'm looking at Caitlin because I don't want to.
Yeah, so people have to figure out what it is that they need more of first to figure out what direction they want to go in, or what habits they need to strengthen or continue to grow. And then once they figure that out, what is going to help them get there? Okay, what are the steps they need to take? Do I need to go to bed earlier? Do I need to not do this activity so that I have room for this activity? That kind of thing. And also, Rachel had said something really profound earlier. She said, start small and build.
Mhm. Like really small, really, really small. Because I think in a lot of the habit books I've read, they say even just like drink a glass of water first thing when you wake up in the morning, like that small, right? And just try to do that for, 7 days in a row, and then keep going and see if you can do 14, and keep going and see if you could do, a month. Right. And then you've proven to yourself, wow, I can wake up every single morning and drink a glass of water, and I don't even have to think about it anymore.
Right.
Right. Now I'm going to journal after that glass of water, or now I'm going to meditate or work out, or, right. Get some chores done. Yeah. Be proud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Caitlin, you had a comment?
I was just saying, be proud of yourself. Celebrate those little victories, because the accumulation of those little things adds up to that big change that you want to see. Okay, but you do have to start small.
Mm-hmm. I think a lot of times when people do set New Year's resolutions, it's like too much at once. They want to like change their entire day, their entire life. They're like, I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm going to work out for an hour, and I'm going to cut out all carbs and all. Like, it was like, whoa, you're going to be a different person.
Wow.
Fast, and they burn themselves out.
Yes, that's like so
Totally.
much change at once. Your body is going to resist that. Yeah.
Yeah. So Amy didn't start me out on, 15-pound dumbbells. Starting out with 3, 7 years ago, right? You got to start out with a small weight.
Yes.
And build over time to get stronger. And those are your little victories, getting up and having that glass of water, getting to bed earlier, Caitlin, for your own sleep time. And we have to have grace with ourselves. Like, it's a building process. I can't even imagine going a day without exercising. I don't even do that. I don't think I ever do that. It helps my brain focus. Does it help you guys focus?
Yeah.
It does. I don't do it nearly enough. You guys inspire me, both of you.
Well,
yeah.
Rachel has inspired me to go outside my box. She's been traveling, and so I don't love to fly, but I will fly. But Rachel showed me she went to Mexico. My intention is to plan Charlie and I, because we're empty nesters, is to go places that I want to see. And that's going to be a big step. So I'm going to do a little step, fly to Colorado with him on a work trip. I'm taking little steps to build up to bigger places, which she inspires me. And Caitlin, you inspire me every day, because your work ethic is, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. I think
Isn't
Caitlin
it?
is like the definition of grit when she uses that word to be, a working mom. And
And you guys raise a really good point. You both know that you probably know this already. I look up to you both. Both have kind of been like mentors to me, especially Linda, but having someone that inspires you, that you look up to, right? That kind of makes it more real and makes you see that you can do that. You can do it. You can get there.
Aw, thank you, Caitlin. Thank you, Rachel, too.
Yeah.
So
What an
we'll
awesome work environment. I love this.
so
So healthy. Feels good.
I know. It's so wonderful to be part of Truvon, and Rachel was a part of the inspiration for me to start Truvon too. And actually, Caitlin too. At one point, she said, "You ever think about having your own office? I'd love to work for you." She said that one time. I was like, "Oh, okay. I got people want to work for me. What?" I was like,
Yes.
humbling. So I'm just so grateful for both of you and to God for our new year. And thank you all for listening to our podcast about atomic habits and our intentions. And yeah, we appreciate all of you for listening. Yeah.
Yeah, you just remember you can do hard things. You can choose what is hard and better for you over what's fun, fast, and easy. And maybe actively remind yourself that every morning as you're brushing your teeth or, yeah.
That might be a habit you want too, is to brush.
Yeah. If you're not, maybe incorporate that in your day.
Oh, and Caitlin, what do you want to leave our listeners with today?
You can do this. Think about pairing something hard with something like rewarding that can help you maybe look forward to it or make it feel like a reward. Like, okay, after I work out, I'm going to go get a special smoothie or, I don't know, something that will help you achieve your goal. That way you're rewarding yourself too.
Love that. Well, we appreciate you guys listening to Truvon Talks, and we will hopefully do a podcast in the near future. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.